since my daughter, Audrey, was 3 years old, she was fascinated with musicians. Like when we were out watching street performers on Orchard Road, she would stop and listen to the music, and we could never get her to leave. And in Singapore, street performers, they're known as buskers. And after seeing my daughter watch all these buskers for years, I had a big, bold idea. I could be a busker. If she saw me out there playing the guitar and singing, like she might look up to me the same way and think that I'm really cool. So like everything else in Singapore, busking is regulated by the government. You have to apply, you have to audition, you have to get a license if you want to play out in the street. So I apply and I start practicing, and I'd only been playing the guitar for 2 years. But I play the same 3 songs and I practice them over and over for months. So when my audition date gets there, I feel like maybe I'm good enough. So when I get to the audition, the waiting area is filled with about 20 other people, and some of them are warming up and practicing, and some of them are really good. Suddenly, any confidence that I had is gone. When my number is called, I pick up my gear and I walk into the audition room. There are 4 judges sitting behind a table, and one of the judges says, "Start anytime you're ready." So I start strumming my guitar and I start singing, and I think I'm doing pretty good. When one of the judges stops and he's like, "Man, your strumming is really bad. Look, can you just play evenly, just like this, like down, up, down, up, down?" And first, I can't believe he didn't like the way I played Katy Perry's Hot and Cold. But worse than that, all the other buskers are there listening, and they can hear this guy schooling me in front of everybody. It's humiliating. But I do my best. I try to just keep going, and I'm playing until another judge stops me, and she asks me, "Do you really want to do this?" But I'm ready to explain what I'm doing there. I had my speech, and I go into it. Look, my 5-year-old daughter loves music, and I can do more than just tell her, "Oh, music is really cool." I want to set an example for her that music is something you can learn your whole life. And you don't have to be a professional or even play perfectly to have something to share with the world. And the judge is like, "Yeah, okay, can you play something else, maybe something with different chords?" And at this point, I have to admit to the judges that these are the only 4 chords. As I leave the audition room, one of the judges says, "Hey, you know, there are a lot of people auditioning, and it's really competitive this year. But I know he's really just saying, sorry, you're not good enough." And when I walk out of that room, I feel like the biggest failure, because I'm not going to be a busker. And my daughter's not going to think I'm cool. But about a month later, I get a text message on my phone from an unknown number, and it says, "Hello, we are pleased to inform you that you have passed the busking audition." I have no idea how I passed, but I'm so excited, I start busking right away. And after busking regularly for 6 months, I have made $15. And when I tell my daughter Audrey how much money I made, she immediately runs to get her Post-it notes. And in her crooked 5-year-old handwriting, she writes out this note that says, "Money, please. P-L-E-A-S." And she takes it and she sticks it on the Kleenex box that I use to collect tips. And then after I'm finished with the song I'm practicing, she comes up to me with a piece of felt, play money, and she puts it in my tip box. And she says, "Here, Busker, here's $10. And I say, "Wow, thank you, Audrey, thanks." And she says, no, I'm not Audrey. Pretend I'm somebody else." I say, "Okay, thanks, somebody else, not Audrey, thank you." And then I play another song. And when I finish that song, she comes up with another piece of play money and she puts it in my tip box. And she says, "Hello, Busker. Pretend I'm somebody different now. Here's $20. And I'm like, $20? That's a lot of money. Daddy, it's not real money. When my daughter isn't giving me pretend money as tips, she's usually dancing whenever I'm practicing my songs. And sometimes she comes up with words and she sings these made-up songs while I strum the same 4 chords that I know over and over. My daughter Audrey is now 7 years old, and I've been a licensed busker for 2 years. And even though I don't earn a lot of tips in real money, Audrey is still my #1 fan.